Hello everyone, we will start with the session with the stratification of pond ecosystem. In the last session we discussed about what are all the biotic and abiotic factors of pond ecosystem. So here stratification is nothing but the zones, okay, or the layers we can say, okay. So based on the factors on what basis we have a stratification in this pond ecosystem, so that is very important, okay. So based on the main thing, based on the sunlight penetration. So whether it reaching the surface level or little deeper level or to the bottom level, whether it's going or not. So based on that, how much distance the sunlight is traveling in this pond ecosystem. So based on that, we can have this stratification. Okay. So based on the factors like distance from the shore, okay, distance from the seashore. So that is also one of the factor, and penetration of this light, depth of water. Okay, and types of plants and animals. There may be 3 zones. So based on these factors, so what are the factors we are calculating? We are calculating just to see this is the seashore. Okay, so distance from the seashore. So from the seashore, how much distance at the pond level? Okay, so based on that and the penetration of the light, whether how much distance is traveling inside this water, and the depth of the water, how much depth the pond. Okay, and the animals and plants, what are the types of animals and plants, and in this which layer these organisms is occupying, whether it's surface layer or middle layer or deeper layer, like that. So based on these factors, there will be a zones. We can classify it. Okay. So first one is the littoral, second one limiting and profound. So what is meant by littoral zone? So the first factor is the distance from the seashore, the shore. Okay. So now the zone which is very close, you just see this is the mud region, just here, this is the shore region, very closer to this shore region. Yes. So the region, the water which is very closer to this shore region, we can call it as littoral zone. Okay. So this littoral zone with a shallow water region. So what will happen here in this littoral zone? It allows easy penetration of light. So because which is very closely present to the shore region. So there will be easily entry of this sunlight. Okay, so this is the littoral. This side is the littoral zone. And then next one is the limatic. Okay, so the limatic region. So in this, this littoral region, it is warm and occupied by rooted plants because it is like near to the surface. So here there will be easily the sunlight will reach and the water will get little warm, and there will be a rooted plants because the mud is there. So the root will use this mud to grow. Okay, so rooted plants we can find it out in this littoral zone. Okay, and then next one is the limnatic zone. It refers to open water of the pond. Here you just see open water. Next to this littoral there is open water is there. Okay, so this is the limatic zone. So in this limatic zone there is the sunlight will be scattered. Okay, so it will get more sunlight. Okay, so it's like a surface. So here there will be effective penetration of light and domination of planktons, the deeper region. And after this, next level is the deeper one, that is the profound zone. So you just see this is next to this limatic zone. So in this profound zone there is no chance for the entry of sunlight because it is little deeper. Okay, so if there is no sunlight, and there will be no organisms, because for organisms, for its survival, it needs the sunlight. So till which part the sunlight is getting penetrated, so till that we can see the organisms. Okay, afterwards we can't see the organisms because that is not a correct zone for the survival of the organism. Okay, so there is no sunlight in this profound region. And the next one is the benthic zone. So in this benthic zone, what will be there? The dead and decaying organism, muddy region will be there. So once the mud is there, definitely there will be a decomposers. Okay, clear? Yes. So here the deeper region of a pond below the limelight zone is called profound zone with no effective light penetration and predominance of heterotrophs. Okay, so here there will be predominance of heterotrophs because once the sunlight is reached, then there will be a food production by means of this plants. If there is no, the heterotrophs will depend on other living organisms for its food. Okay, so we can see the heterotrophs are more in this profound zone. Okay, and the bottom zone is the benthic zone, okay, which is occupied by a community of organisms called benthos. Here the benthos means decomposers. Already we have an idea about decomposers and what are all the uses of these decomposers in the ecosystem, right? So in this benthic zone, that is the last layer. Okay, and there we can find this benthos, that is decomposers. The primary productivity through photosynthesis of littoral and limatic zone is more due to greater penetration of light than the profound zone. Okay, so here the productivity is more in littoral and limatic zone because it receiving the sunlight. So the plants, it needs sunlight to do the photosynthesis process. Okay, and we know the next process we know. So the sunlight is enough, right? So in littoral zone and limatic zone, it receiving a proper amount of sunlight, so there will be a production. And in profound zone, there is no entry of sunlight, so there will be a heterotrophs. Populations are more in this profound zone, and in the deeper layer or in the bottom layer, there is no other organisms. Only we can find out this benthos, that is the decomposers. So by means of this, the production as well as the cyclic of the nutrients will be maintained in this pond ecosystem. So how you should know, stratification means how we are dividing this pond ecosystem as a zone wise: littoral, limatic, profound and benthic zone. So based on the penetration of the sunlight and from the sea shore, how much distance it is, and the water level in the pond, and what are all the organisms are there in the ecosystem. So based on that, we have this stratification of pond ecosystem. Yes, yeah. Hope this video is very useful to you. I'll meet you in next video. Thank you.